Hey, it's Will. It's May 7th. We're outside the Ziegfeld Theater. We just saw the remake of Star Trek. I'm not going to give away anything because I know that a lot of people will not have seen it when I post this. But overall, it's good. I'm kind of surprised that I feel that way. I am not a Trekkie or a Trekker. I'm not a Star Trek purist, but I am somebody who grew up in the 70s watching the Star Trek reruns. It will always have a special place in my heart. I saw most of the movies with all the movies with the original cast, and a few of the ones with the Next Generation cast. I'm also someone who hates current movies. I'm not a huge science fiction buff. I'm not a big fan of CGI and technology. I like old stuff, and I like keeping old stuff old where it belongs. And with all of that said, this movie is true to the spirit of the original Star Trek. It's well written, it's well directed, it's mostly well acted, and it's respectful. And that's a big deal. It's very important because there's a lot of people for whom this story and these characters mean a lot. My only knock on the movie is that, like with all science fiction movies, I found it a little bit hard to follow. But that's why I always liked Star Trek when I was growing up and even, in later years, because it was primarily about character, relationships, personalities, interactions, and it wasn't about the minutia of science fiction, which does not interest me. So this version maintains that, and there's a definite overall sense of homage to the original. So if you're 4 years old like me and you think it's gotta suck because it's a bunch of pretty young people and a lot of technology, well, I'm here to tell you, I'm the guy who would say that 999 times out of 1,000, and it doesn't suck. So, any questions from the audience? Any questions? Okay, so I'll throw myself a question. Was it weird watching other people play the roles that we've become, accustomed to seeing? People like William Shatner and Leonard Nimoy and DeForest Kelley and Walter Koenig and George Takei and Scotty, whose name escapes me right now. James Doohan. Was it weird seeing other people play those parts? Yes, it was weird seeing other people play those parts. In the same way, it's weird to see that pretty, muscular, blonde-haired guy playing James Bond. Who the fuck decided that James Bond should be blonde-haired and pretty? I don't know. I mean, for me, James Bond is always Sean Connery. For other people, James Bond is always Roger Moore. For other people, James Bond is Timothy Dalton. Maybe not a lot of people. But anyway, the fact is that in order for a creative property to remain current and valid, to some extent, there have to be new versions of it. If not, the great original Star Trek characters become nothing but nostalgia. And I don't want them to be just nostalgia, because it was great work that Gene Roddenberry created, and it deserves to be current. And I hope that there are sequels to this movie, and I hope that they're successful, because they deserve to be successful. And I hope that it inspires people to go back and look at the DVDs of the original, because there's a lot of charm to those original episodes. Because what they couldn't do with special effects and budget, they did with storytelling and really, really memorable characterizations. So go see this movie, pay your $12.50 or whatever it costs to go to the movies nowadays, and then go on Netflix and watch some of the original episodes, and you'll see where all these good ideas came from, and you'll come to appreciate the original as much as people who grew up watching it did. That's it. Thanks.